Hello everyone, it is me, BlackSonatta here, and welcome to another event review, where today we'll be talking about the Easter event for 2024. The update has been released for about 24 hours ago, and I have been streaming my experience so far. Yesterday I have streamed for about 2 hours-ish. I've been grinding overall for about 3 hours basically. And I was, just grinding the event and trying to understand how it works and to form my opinion on it for this very event review. And after playing it for a while, I can say that the event is actually kind of alright. It is definitely a very huge step from the past two events that we had that were just mining torture. And they actually learned a lot on what to make, how to make the event better overall. And I can definitely say that the event is actually pretty fun to play. Now, I don't want to get into how the event works that much in this video, because I will be doing a full guide on how the event works and stuff, so you can look forward to that. You can subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so you don't miss it. But as a TLDR, there's two parts to this event. The first part is your standard egg hunt. We've had it for years now, where you go into mines, you collect some eggs, those eggs get into account, and then at the end of the event, if you have gotten 500 eggs or more, you will win an item. We still don't know if it is gonna be an item or a wearable. We're still on the lookout for that. And then the second part of the event is a little bit more complicated. So at any time, anywhere, a bunny bomb will spawn into all of the mines, and then they're gonna give you the coordinates, and you need to go into those coordinates and catch the bunny bomb, and you can get some items for it. As usual, like I said, I will be doing a full guide on this, so I can go into a little more depth. But I just wanted to give this TLDR so you guys could understand a little bit of how the event works in general. And it is a little bit tricky for this event because you really need to make a way for it to work without being very grindy or without it being too annoying basically. You really gotta make it so the event is actually enjoyable, because since it's an actual waiting event, you need to wait for those bunny bombs to appear. Depending on how much you have to make the players wait, that can be a big turnoff for players who might want to play the event and stuff. And after a while, I can say that they actually kind of nailed it. The time it takes for the bunny bombs to spawn can vary a little bit. From what we have seen, it can take about 50 minutes to an hour, which is actually a pretty good measure. And I think it's a pretty sweet spot where you actually need to wait for a bit, and you can, pass the time by going for the egg hunt. But it's still not that much time to the point where you're just bored, right? It's a pretty, I think it's a pretty nice range for how they did it. It's funny because we actually went through a lot of phases on figuring out how the event works. So at first, we have noticed that all of the bunny bombs that have spawned, it always ended at 20 minutes. So they always spawned at 4:20, 5:20, 6:20. So we kind of just took that, every mark that ends in 20 minutes, a bunny bomb is guaranteed to spawn. And that's kind of the idea that we took for a couple of hours for the first minutes of the event. And then we realized that after a while, they started to spawn at random times that didn't fit into that 20-minute mark. So that was a lot of figuring out how the event works. And if I'm gonna be honest, I think if they went with that way of when this time hits, it's guaranteed for the bomb to spawn. I think if they went with that path, the event would be a lot better. Because that would make it so players actually have a time that they could look for, instead of just waiting with no direction, right? If they made it so there was a guarantee for the bunny bomb to spawn at a certain time, I think it would make the event a whole lot better, and it would be a lot more enjoyable. But by no means that means that the event is bad, right? The event is still very enjoyable to grind. I've done a full stream of us just chatting and figuring out the event. It was pretty fun. There was a lot that we have managed to understand about the event overall, and just playing it actually felt very good. Another thing that I think is very important to notice is that I feel like they could have used a little more communication for this event. So for the past couple of events, we were just thrown into it, right? Take for example the candy cane event for Christmas. We were just thrown into the event without any ideas, and that's something that has been happened or that has been happening for a long time, for the past like 5 events maybe. We just get thrown into the event, we have no direction, we have no explanation of how the event works, if little to none basically. And I feel like they could use a lot more communication through the news bulletin. So if you play, like when you get an update and you join in the game, at the start of it you will get a news bulletin that explains how the event works and stuff. And I feel like they could use so much more of that to explain how the event works. And it's a feature that's already in the game, you just need to word it to the point where people can actually understand the event. And overall, I just think they could use communication a lot more to pass off how the event works, because that's a pretty big thing for retaining new players and for allowing older players to, actually have something to look forward to. If you just say, oh, like there's an event, good luck trying to figure it out, it can be a little frustrating, right? You have no direction to go to, you're just kind of aimlessly going, and it's a little bit annoying, right? I think it would be better if they gave us like a head start on the sense of like, you gotta do this and then, right? Just explaining the steps would help out a lot, not only new players, but also like just veteran players in general. Once again, overall, I just think the event is pretty good. It's definitely the best event that we have gotten for this year. If the past like 3 events were a 2 out of 10 for me, I think this one would be a 6. Like, it's not something too crazy, but it's nothing terrible either, but it's definitely a huge step coming from the past 2 events that we had. So overall, it's a pretty big win for our community in general, and I hope that the next events can definitely like improve and stuff. But that is just the way I see it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the event. It is great to see what you guys have to say, and as usual, I've always said this, but it's always nice that we as a community express and voice our concerns for how the events are like and our actual opinions on the event, because that's what actually drives the developers to actually do something about those events. That's what drives players to actually get better content overall. And yeah, it's great to see what you guys have to say about these events and stuff. So let me know. You can drop down a comment, or you can just search me on Discord. You can join my server down in the description. We can just chat there if you want to, it would be great. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. As usual, if you liked it, you can subscribe to my channel, you can share with a friend. Like the video if you actually liked it. Hopefully I can do more of these in the future for new events, because it's always nice to, share my experiences with like the events and stuff. And stay tuned for the next couple of days, because I will be posting an event guide just explaining how the event works more in depth and also giving some helpful tips on how to progress to the event. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a wonderful day.